All right, I'd like to call to order the Cumberland School Committee on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next item on the agenda is approval of agenda. I need a motion to approve. Motion by Mrs. Rogalski. Second by Ms. Smith. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. For the record, Mrs. Feather is absent tonight. Next item on the agenda is consent agenda. Item A, approval of minutes from the regular meeting 9/26/2024. Item B, approval of minutes from the executive session 9/26/2024. Item C, the school bus inspection reports from 9/19/2024. Item D, the enrollment report 10/8/2024. Item E, residency truancy report 10/7/2024. Item F, transportation update 10/8/2024. Pleasure of the committee. Motion to approve by Mr. Rogalski. Second by Mrs. Vogel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Next on the agenda is personnel announcements. Mrs. Drezek.
Good evening. I have two personnel announcements tonight. We have two resignations. Effective September 16th, Kathleen Pedro, paraprofessional 1-to-1 at Garvin, and effective November 7th, Aisha Aceto, kindergarten teacher at Community.
Next item is report out of executive session meeting on 9/26/2024. Report out of executive session votes. We did not take any votes. Next is the vote to seal the minutes of executive session.
Motion to seal.
Motion to seal by Mrs. Rogalski. Second by Mrs. Vogel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Next item is the superintendent's report. Dr. Thornton.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Take it away, Mike. First up, in case you haven't heard, we finally have our date for our Ashton Elementary ribbon cutting. So you can see it's Monday, October 21st, 6 to 8 p.m. So we're very excited to show off Ashton to the community. So we've invited folks from the state and locally as well. So we're hoping to have a nice turnout, and we'll certainly film the event and have it on our website as well. So looking forward to that. Mike? Next up, in case you haven't heard, it is National Principals Month. Being a principal now more than ever is an extremely demanding job. You are on call 24/7. It could be a student matter. It could be a personnel matter. It could be a building matter. You're always on. And these folks are doing a great job. We have a great team in Cumberland. So we just wanted to get shots of all of our folks here. And that is our principal team in Cumberland. So once again, I just want to wish them a happy Principals Month. So there they are. And in case you also haven't heard, one more commercial, Tuesday, October 22nd, Data in Your Backyard. You've heard of the Kids Count Fact Book, and we're having actually a local edition of that in Cumberland. We're holding it at the McCourt cafeteria. We're going to have the folks from Kids Count come and talk about Cumberland data. And so we're excited to have that. We'll have snacks there as well. Mr. McGrath, snacks are coming. And we're hoping, once again, for a good turnout there. And we'll hopefully have that filmed, Mike, if we can. And we will have that on our website as well. And last but not least, construction. We are still in demo mode, but first, a couple of things here. The roof is coming along really well at Community. That's the roof here. The flashing is coming in. We're finishing the blue flashing. That's all new. That's all new here. The roof's probably, I'd say, 80% done. So that's just the whole roof look around Community Schools. It's our biggest school, as you know. And really, if you look at it, it's probably the school in the worst shape physically of all of our elementary schools. It really is. It needs a lot of work. Go ahead, Mike. Here is the inside. Once again, we're demoing the area up here. Here's a classroom fully demoed. You can see whiteboards are out, cubbies are out, everything's ripped out here, fully demoed. That's what it looks like. We can start over again. Here we opened up some hallways. Here we chipped up by hand all of the flooring. That was done last week. Over here, same look. Once again, opened up everything. I would also add, we're trying to problem solve the community. There's some long-standing problems at the building. For example, in case you didn't know, the old cafeteria, which was in the basement, as you recall, in Community, it's had a water problem for decades, where water seeps into parts of that basement area. We're trying to problem solve now where it's coming from and what can we do to fix it. We're actually going for a second opinion now to get another expert to come out to look at where it's coming from. It's not straightforward. We can't renovate and not fix the water problem. So we're looking to challenge that first inspection. But yeah, overall, I would say it's the biggest footprint. It's our biggest challenge of all the rentals because of the sheer size of the building. But we're meeting weekly on that, and we are moving forward. So that's what I have right now. That's it. Any questions on construction?
Mr. Fiorello?
Dr. Thornton, as we've experienced with the other schools, once we start opening walls and ceilings, have there been any surprises up to this point?
No surprises yet. We kind of know where the things might be that are hot or asbestos, and we haven't even run into that as of yet in any large amounts. The only surprise, I think, is the water infiltration in the basement. You think it's in one spot, and then you find out it's also over here, and it's also over here, but it's been there for decades. So this is kind of like just, over time, it's just been there. That's our biggest surprise, the water infiltration in the basement of the building. Aside from that, just a really old building, kind of reminds me of Garvin's upper floor facing the street, kind of that rough, kind of older look, just a really, old building, old windows. Everything is pretty dated in community. But we are excited. We have a lot of great improvements here, so, it'll look sharp.
Mrs. Vogel?
With the challenges, is it still on time with everything according?
Yeah, we are on time. Right now, I'd say this is called demo light. The big demo is when the walls come down and they put up bracing to hold up the building when the walls come down. RIDE approved us for the full demo, so that's going to start any time now. So right now, if you go by there, you'll see several dumpsters up front taking out all the contents that we're pulling out of this place. The bathrooms are gutted. Everything's gutted. Now it's really the walls that are coming down in the building. That's next. And as always, if you want to tour the site and see the before, I'm happy to take you around to see community right now as it's being demoed. So,
Thank you, Dr. Thornton.
thank you.
Next is reports of standing committees, starting with the Fiscal Management Subcommittee update. Mr. Collins?
Thank you. The Fiscal Management Subcommittee met this evening. Quick meeting tonight. We have 7 resolutions and payment of the bills for the full committee later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Next, Policy and Procedures Subcommittee update. Mr. Fiorello?
Policies and Procedures was not able to meet this week. We will be meeting on, I think it's the 22nd. I believe that's the 22nd. But we'll definitely have a meeting before the election.
Next is Achievement and Communications Subcommittee update. We did not meet this week as well, but we're hoping to squeeze a meeting in before the election as well. And next is District Health and Wellness Subcommittee update. Mr. Rogalski?
Hey, unfortunately, I don't have a long-winded, lovely review for you. It was our first meeting of the year. We had a visit from Chartwells. They came in because they're always part of the committee on a regular basis. They introduced themselves, kind of went over what they do. A few things we're going to be working on. I think there's going to be some growing pains the first year as we kind of learn each other. They learn us and what we do, and we learn them and what they do. One of the things not happening right now is share tables at some of the schools, and so we're kind of working on resolving that, getting the share tables set back up. That's one where kids can take leftover snacks, or the nurses have leftover snacks in their refrigerators to offer to students. We had some updates from Mr. Crowley from the athletic department, the Active Minds chapter, which was the Kyle Cares Foundation. They've had a few meetings. They're doing Zoom meetings. They're going to be meeting, I think, next week to plan some events for the year. And they just wrapped up their captain's class, which was 6 classes. Read they had 26 captains for fall sports. Every sport was represented. Student-led discussions, he said it was really good. And then we just made some future plans for the rest of the year, and that was about it. And our next meeting will be before the November school committee meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Rogalski. Next on the agenda is old business. Item A, discussion and or vote to approve the 2024-2025 bus routes.
Madam Chair, this is back on per policy. Tonight's your night to vote on this topic.
Pleasure of the committee. Mrs. Rogalski makes a motion to approve. Do we have a second for discussion? Second, Mrs. Vogel. Do we have any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is comments from the public. If anyone from the public would like to speak, you can come up to the podium. Next item on the agenda is new business. Item A, student hearing. We have no action on that tonight. There was not a student hearing. Item B, discussion and a vote to approve homeschool instruction request for the 2024-2025 school year. Motion to approve by Mrs. Rogalski.
Second.
Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Item C, discussion and a vote to approve the revised 2024-2025 school calendar with updated graduation date and SAT testing day.
Madam Chair, in your drive, you'll see just two changes. April 1st, as you mentioned, at the high school, it's PSAT grade 9, grade 10, SAT grade 11, and seniors will be working on their projects. That's April 1. That's on the bottom here. And also June 11th is the projected or tentative graduation date.
Pleasure of the committee.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Rogalski. Second by Ms. Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Thank you. Next, item D, discussion and a vote to approve overnight field trip request. CHS Clef and Band Dinner and Broadway Show in New York City in Band and Choral Festival Competition, Angleton, New Jersey, May 22nd to May 24th, 2025.
A few thoughts, Madam Chair. As you always would ask, the ratio here is 10-1. Students would not be paying out of pocket. It's all fundraising. And if they were not to raise enough funds, they said they would just wait for another time. So essentially, right now, they are fundraising. I think they're pretty confident they're going to raise the funds to go. Looks like a great trip. So I recommend approval.
Yes, Mr. Collins?
I don't know if there is some issues with the drive right now, but I don't see any paperwork on file. Is it in there?
I believe it's in the drive.
I thought I saw it the other day.
Here, if you want.
Business. Oh, you know, it's not opening. All right, yeah, so I did look at it. All right. Sorry, thinking aloud.
Motion to approve by Mrs. Rogalski. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. And I actually just want to take this opportunity to kind of publicly read into the record a letter that I received unsolicited about our marching band. So I received this letter on October 7th I'll read it. On Saturday, October 5th, 2024, Walpole, Massachusetts, held a parade in honor of its 300th birthday celebration. The parade was unlike anything else in size and scope our community has ever put on, requiring a tremendous amount of effort and coordination. This is coming from the chair of the 300th Anniversary Committee. He says, "We would like to personally thank you for allowing your high school marching band to join us in the festivities. The band's director, Michael Ferrocci, was incredibly patient with us as we worked through all the logistical concerns. Your students were impeccably organized, respectful, and good-natured as we waited for the parade to begin, so much so that after a last-minute change, we moved them up to the very front of the column. We hope that you will communicate our praise of your student musicians and teachers to your wider community. Thank you for sharing your talents with us. Very truly yours, on behalf of the committee, William J. Buckley, Jr., Chair of the Walpole 300th Anniversary Committee and also Chair of the Walpole School Committee." So that is just a nice testament to our students and to Mr. Ferrucci. It's nice to receive letters like that. Yes, Mr. Fiorello.
Several years ago, I remember when Dr. Thornton made it a big push to have a marching band, increase the profile of the school's marching band, the program. And over the years, we've spent a lot of money in that program, whether it's uniforms, storage for the uniforms, new equipment, everything. And it's just really nice to see that it's all paid off, to have such a stellar program. And Mr. Ferrocci's doing a great job, and congratulations to the kids.
Next item on the agenda is discussion and a vote to approve resolutions. Mr. Collins.
Yes, we have 7 resolutions, SCPI-09-2024-165 through 171. All 7 resolutions passed Fiscal Management Subcommittee 3-0, and I'd move passage to the full committee.
Mr. Collins makes a motion to approve resolutions SCPR 09-2024-165 through 171. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Smith. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 6-0. Next item, item F, discussion and a vote to approve payment of bills. Mr. Collins?
Yes, we have payment of the bills of the amount of $1,594,306.22. Payment of the bills passed Fiscal Management Subcommittee 3-0, and I'd move passage to the full committee.
Mr. Collins makes a motion to approve payment of bills. Do we have a second? Second by Mrs. Vogel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda, school committee comments, school liaison reports. Any comments, Mr. Fiorello?
I wasn't here a couple of weeks ago, so I just want to extend my congratulations to the students and staff, and of course, Principal Carter for the blue ribbon status of Garvin Memorial. As we've said in the past, or all of us have said, it was the hardest secret we've ever had to keep for the past, 8 months. There was a lot of discussion around redistricting, and we kept pushing, even before we knew about the blue ribbon status, that Garvin was an exceptional school. The blue ribbon really just proves that. And I hope the doubters that sent some very not nice letters realize how wrong they were.
Any other comments from school committee members? Okay, then seeing none, next item is vote to go into executive session.
All set.
We don't have that tonight. Next item is adjournment. Motion to adjourn by Mr. Rogalski. Second by Mrs. Vogel. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes 6-0. We are adjourned at 7:17 PM.